We are live.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of STORYHIVE on location in Vancouver with beats, eats, and more. I am your host, Kazi. We're broadcasting live right now on the unceded ancestral lands of the Musqueam, the Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish First Nations, of whom we give all due love, respect, and honor for being the original stewards and protectors of these lands and these waters. I also want to shout out STORYHIVE for making this episode possible today. And we are back, Season 4, 108th interview with the one, the only MOARRR Cortez.
Hi!
MOARRR Cortez is a Manila-born Vancouver-based multidisciplinary artist whose work blends vibrant abstractions, human connection, and the pre-colonial Filipino script Baybayin. Based at Astro Club here in Mount Pleasant, MOARRR is making her mark through murals, public art, and placemaking across the city, with collaborations ranging from the city of Vancouver to Herschel Supply and Arc'teryx. A two-time Battle of the Brush champion, she continues to transform spaces and spark community through art. Welcome, MOARRR.
Thank you for having me.
Diva,
This is Diva.
the dog, another dog that I'm caring for on the show. MOARRR, thank you so much for your time and your energy and welcoming us into your studio space.
Yes, thank you for coming and shooting in my very humble studio space.
Yeah, we've been actually trying to make this interview happen for a while. Actually, we've been just trying to make kape happen for a while, having a coffee together.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember when we would have actually first met.
So I first heard about you from Chris Perez, who's
Yes.
a very talented muralist.
Shout out
to Chris.
And the old roomie of Hoy House.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I first started muraling, I reached out to him just to get some tips, and he's
Yeah.
also like Filipino diaspora, so I was kind of like asking him like, how did your parents like support this journey?
Number one question right there.
Yeah. And he told me about you because he was based in Toronto, like he lives in Toronto now.
Yeah.
And that's how I like first heard about you. So I think that was a couple of years ago. That was like in 2022. But I don't recall when we actually like
Yeah.
officially first met.
I
I think
think-
we're just out all the time.
I think for me, I saw your art. I started seeing your art everywhere, like VS Creative. And then also when I did the interview with them, I should have worn my hoodie today, but it's too hot. But the hoodie that you had designed, the back artwork, was super cool. And so that is mainly where I first heard about you and seeing your work through the internet. And then I think it was here. Like I was visiting Astro.
Oh, yeah.
And we were outside and you were sitting at the restaurant over there. I'm like, are you MOARRR? I'm like,
Yeah.
it's Kazi.
Yeah.
Like, we're internet friends. But now we're here and it's so amazing to see more and more of your artwork just out in the city and being able to cultivate this time and space to get to know you more. You know, it's funny because it should have happened as a coffee, but now we're doing it as a live stream.
Live stream plus coffee. We still have coffee.
That's it. Okay, well, I really want to start with, you know, your early beginnings. Like, what is your earliest memory of picking up a brush and really feeling impacted by creating art?
Yeah, my dad, he was like an architect when I was living in Manila still. And so my earliest memories are picking up pencils. And so he would have this like table with like blueprints of like things that he was making or fabricating. And then I have like some really early memories of him teaching me how to draw straight lines without a ruler. And so I would just be at his desk literally drawing straight lines forever and ever. And then when we migrated to Canada, me and my dad used to watch Art Attack together. Do you remember that show?
Oh my God! Of course! PVA glue, sticky tack. Like, what?
And you remember like the big like the top down like huge like found objects, but he would make like illustrations with it. That was a huge inspiration for me.
Called The Art Attack.
Yes, that was Art Attack. That was my favorite show ever.
Just for context for anyone who might not have been Canadian or is it a Canadian TV show?
Well, he was British.
Yeah. I don't know where they screened this, but anyways, Art Attack was a childhood favorite. And this guy showed you how to make arts and crafts, but then he would do this thing called the Art Attack. It would have music, and he would do these huge scale productions. Like one was like on a black floor with just salt.
I remember those.
Another one, which I totally felt inspired by, was like take all the same like colored clothes.
Yes,
and then,
I remember that one
too. And then
too.
form shapes and form whatever. And I was
Yes.
like taking clothes out of the closet. My mom was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
Like
and
an
my
art
parents had
attack.
like so many shoes at one point, so I would like take the shoes and just like try to make things with.
I love that.
Yeah.
So wait, how old were you when you immigrated to Canada?
I had my 10th birthday here. So and my birthday is March 1st, so I remember seeing snow for the first time back in the days when we still had snow in March. Like now that never happens. It's like pretty much spring. But yeah, that was like I remember a really nice treat for me because we moved here and then got to see snow, and then it was like kind of like a new life for us. So yeah, I think my dad is a really important person that would just like push me to do art all the time.
And then, so were you doing it throughout school?
Yeah. For some reason, he was like, "You're not that athletic," so he put me in a lot of art classes. So I got to, do some drawing and painting at Arts Umbrella up until grade 12.
Okay.
And then I also, he did put me in dance too.
Yeah.
So my brothers got to play sports, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll dance. But then we started doing hip hop in high school.
Yes.
And my little brother was like, ooh, that's kind of cool. So that's something that we did together.
I'm just your hair.
Oh,
there you go. Where did you go to high school?
I went to Burnaby South.
Okay.
Yeah. So my family, we actually lived in East Van, but my Lola lives in Burnaby. And so my parents used her address because we would just walk to her house from South every day after school. And then after my dad finished work, around 5 was when he would pick us up from Lola's house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Being raised by your grandparents for childcare, that is a serious... Or being raised by somebody else's grandparents.
Yes.
I also spent my childhood being taken care of by family, friends, grandparents, other Lolas and Lolas.
But it's kind of fun because then there's other kids there too.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. We didn't have phones, so we would just play, and then Lola would have snacks for us, like some merienda, and then we would take a nap while she was watching Family Feud.
Okay.
This is very diasporic experience.
Yeah. What were your snacks though?
It was tinapay of some sort. Bread.
Yeah.
And then the crunchy peanut butter, or what do you call it? The red hot dogs from the store with mayonnaise.
Yeah. Vienna sausages.
Vienna sausage was
hot
good
dogs in instant noodles or ramen noodles. That was childhood snack.
Okay. Pancit Canton is also one of the things that she would make for us.
Oh yeah, so good. The ones that come in the package.
Yeah, one is not enough, but 2 is just the right amount.
I'm curious to know, did you always know that you wanted to become an artist?
I didn't.
Growing up?
I didn't really see it as a career option, but it was something that I would revert to if I was having tough times emotionally. So it's if I felt frustrated, I would paint, or I would write in my journal, or it was just a way for me to express myself because I have big emotions, and growing up that was how I would cope. And I think my dad saw that probably because he would just you should go and paint or make this paper mache thing we saw on Art Attack.
Aww.
Yeah, he was very supportive.
And then, so at what point were you okay, this is actually possible for me?
Well, during COVID, I applied for a neighborhood small grant, which is a $500 small grant that they award to people with ideas to bring community together. And so for my grant, I used it to do paint in the park because I live really close to this park, and it was kind of an excuse to just paint with my friends. But then it ended up, I got a lot of signups for it, and then people were wanting more of this community gathering, so I did it a couple times, and then my partner actually, shout out to Taylor.
Shout out to Taylor!
He was I think you could do this full time, and At the time, I was working in healthcare and I was feeling really burnt out. So I just kind of focused all of my energy in that. And a lot of like community work. So I was volunteering in Fraser Street and South Vancouver Neighborhood House, and there was an opportunity to maybe work with the BIA for my mural, and so that's why my first mural is on Fraser Street on the side of Pampanga's cuisine.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then from there, kind of just like word of mouth, or people would kind of see that I was in the community or doing things, and I think it was this special moment in time where maybe other people were not seeing like a visual artist, like a Filipino visual artist kind of pursuing something like this. And so the community's been really supportive of me. And I feel like most of the work that I get is thankfully through like referrals or people just, hitting me up because they know someone who knows me.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah,
eh?
yeah. And that's kind of like, even now I'm still kind of like, can I do this? Like, I've been doing it full time for 3 years now, but I'm just like, can I still like do this forever?
Yeah.
I think the thing with pursuing an art career is that you don't know what the future kind of has in store. You can want all of these things, but you know, other opportunities pop up. Like this year, I had no idea I was going to travel so much for work, but here I am. I think I've taken like 15, 16 planes, and it's not done yet. We're still traveling. So yeah, it's kind of one of those things where you're carving your own path and things feel a little bit, there are times when you feel a little bit discouraged.
For sure.
There's those seasons where there's no work, but that's like learning through kind of the marathon of being an artist, is that there are seasons where it'll be slower. There's seasons that are a lot more full and busy, and you kind of just need to find balance in that.
Yes. I mean, you speak on a truth that so many artists feel, because there's, you know, a roadmap that exists, sure, but like as the times change and the creative industries is the one that is the most like evolving all the time, like it doesn't stay static, that we're constantly having to flow and like invent and reinvent, and then sometimes we become the one pioneering something, and then that changes again. Like it's honestly one of the most difficult things.
It is.
Which is why I think artists especially should just have that basic income that comes from the government to support our livelihood and what we create and contribute to society, because we make healthier societies and cities. Period. Yeah, I think artists are cultural bearers. You know, we kind of set the standard for, I think, even just the city now, how it's bustling with events and community gatherings. I think a lot of that can be attributed to artists just offering the gifts that they have to the community. Like for you, for example, right? There's, you know, versus Creative Lab, like MJ and Dave and PJ, and they just have this community mindset, and then that builds the culture, and then that pushes Vancouver's name out there more too. Even just Drew, who and Steph, who own Astro Arts Club, like they are doing it for the love of it, guys. Yes.
Like
Truly.
It's not easy at all.
Most people don't do art unless you're passionate.
Yeah.
Like
that's the fuel.
You know? Yeah. Actually though. That's so funny. Aww. Well, I'm curious about what has been some of your most favorite and exciting experiences that you've gotten to have over the last couple of years doing this professionally, especially all the travels.
Oh, sorry, I'm so talking about my mouth.
Yeah. Like, how did that happen, though?
I'm just like, honestly, I'm part of an art collective called Indios Bravos.
Yes.
And so.
Super sick.
Yeah, me and two artists from Calgary, Moe Blanco, Harvey Nicol, and then two of the artists that live here, Selena Barcenas and May Facundo.
Yes.
Three of us, me, Moe, and Harvey, got to travel to the Philippines on a professional development trip earlier this year, and that was life-changing. Just to be able to see the different microcultures traveling through like different parts of
Where did
Luzon.
you go?
Yeah, so we spent some time in Manila. Harvey was working with Art Fair, and so we got to really see the contemporary art scene and kind of get an understanding for oh man, there's so much talent in the Philippines.
Are we surprised?
We're not surprised, but it's just popping over there. And then, you know, there's gathering spaces where you meet other artists, and they're so much more collaborative. I feel like in North America, you do have to kind of like get to know someone a little bit more, which is totally fair. But people are just so excited to like jump on any opportunity to create. And that was kind of a culture shock for me. And then we went up to like Baguio up north, and like we went to La Union and also to Kalinga, and we got to meet Apawang Odd, which the village that she lives in, it's so matriarchal, and that just like goes to show that like our society as a whole in the Philippines pre-colonially was most definitely like matriarchal. And even if you go into like any Filipino home, you know who runs the show.
That's what my dad literally says. She's the boss.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Ask the boss, can I eat this? No, ask the boss.
Yeah. Or even like asking for permission growing up to do anything. Yeah. It would be like, ask your mom. And it's like, you gotta really like, mommy.
Exactly. Did you receive an ink blessing
I
from
did.
Apawang Odd?
I did. I got her signature tattoo.
Wow. What does those symbols mean?
So the 3 dots are her signature.
Okay.
And now I think she's 108 years old. But she's still
108?
Yeah.
108.
And she's so cute and small, and all she does is like all day, every day is tattoo people. I think probably like around 50 to 60 people a day.
Yes.
Yeah, and she said she wants to do that until she can't anymore. Wow. And she fully supports that entire village, and you know, because of her, they've been able to put a bridge there, so like it's not so hard to get there anymore. You used to have to like hike down up into the valley.
Yes.
And now there's a bridge, and there's also like a shuttle that you can take. It's supposed to be for supplies, but you can pay like 300 pesos and then just shuttle over, which I'm like a little sus by, so we took the bridge. Yeah. But then you see these like women from like, you know, the homestays and the tour guides, and even the people that are tattooing are all women. And we were like looking for the barangay captain to see if we could fly our drone. And we had the hardest time finding him because he's like tucked away in the back with all the men. They're just like laying in hammocks, like having such a chill time while the women are like out running the show. And that it was like just very cool to see how different society can be run if it's run by women.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I am going to the Philippines next year. She's been on my bucket list of like must receive an ink blessing, must pay my respects. So many of our friends, especially those who uphold the ancestral tattooing traditions. Did you just push me? You know, they've gone and paid their pilgrimage down there. And so, especially while she's still alive, 108.
108. That's kind of why we were like, no, we have to go see her, even if it's just for like overnight, basically, because you don't know how long she's going to be kicking it for. But at the same time, like, you see her and you're like, you know, she's pretty sassy and cheeky still, so...
Can she speak any English, or does she have a translator?
She can speak a little bit of Tagalog.
Okay.
But they speak a dialect called Butbut Kalinga there.
Wow.
Yeah, I was shocked at, like, my inability to communicate. Even, like, just Tagalog, because, like, up north they speak Ilocano mostly, too. So, yeah.
And your family originally from?
My family, when I was born, had already settled in a suburb outside of just, like, central Manila called Marikina.
Oh, yeah. That place? Yeah, that's the place with the shoes.
Yes! It's the shoe capital. It's also the cleanest city in Manila.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's clean.
I am still so upset that I lost my pair of sandals that I got from there. And funny story is that when I bought a pair of shoes, it was at the mall. I was picking up an ensamada, and then I saw these shoes, and they were cute. They were leather. They were really well made. Yeah. And this lady was just like, those are from Marikina. And I thought that was a brand. Yeah. I didn't realize it was a place. I was like, oh, okay, like high-grade Marikina, whatever. But then I found out later, it's like, oh, no, that's like the shoe capital. They're like known for making really great shoes. So I've lost these shoes since then, and I must get another.
I'll get you a pair.
But that's cool. That's where your family's from.
Yeah, and then I found out, like, just this summer that my cousin on my dad's side has been doing so much research, like over the last 10 years, tracking down like our family tree. So he's like traced it all the way back to like 1917 at this point. He's like looking for like birth records or baptismal documents in different areas where my family on my dad's side has lived. So a lot of them on my dad's side are from Pampanga.
Yes.
And then my mom's side is like Bataan or like Pasig area.
Oh, nice.
So like Luzon people.
That's cool.
And my lola that would like babysit us, she spoke Kapampangan. Yeah.
Where did you learn Baybayin?
I started learning Baybayin here. Yeah. Because, you know, I got to a point where I was curious about my identity. Because you live here. I think, okay, once you immigrate to another place, you either assimilate and just like, I am not Filipino, I am Canadian. So that's kind of the route that I took. But then recently, over like probably the past 10 years, and then have just been like searching for like a deeper meaning. And like I tried to do that through culture, but then North American culture of like Filipinos is very stereotypical. It's like they're good dancers, which is true. They're good singers,
which is true.
You know, they're very generous. We love to party.
We like to take care of our people.
Yeah, and then there's like the people that are kind of well known in pop culture, which is like Jokoy and like Manny Pacquiao. But, you know, I wanted to challenge what it actually meant to be a Filipino outside of like those stereotypes. And like, what are ways we can connect to culture? And that's language. So you go to places like Japan and you see like katakana or hiragana on like all the signs, and you're like, okay, that's their identity. That's one way that they can connect to their identity. But then you go to Manila and everything's in English, and it kind of looks like mini America in some parts. And so I was like looking up at pre-colonial history, very limited amount on the internet, and just started learning about this pre-colonial script that we used to use. And then the more that I learned about it, the more that I was like kind of like passioned or fueled to like continue learning more, because it helped me connect to my identity. And so now I teach people to like write, and then they're like, holy crap, this is fucking awesome. Yeah.
Sorry.
I forgot we can't curse.
Yeah, it's okay. Sorry, moms. Sorry, moms. We will edit that out.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I love that you found your connection to your roots and a sense of pride, because I totally relate to that. Growing up as a kid in the 90s out here in Canada, Vancouver especially, like it wasn't cool being an immigrant back then. You know, like funny smelling food.
You did not bring your
accents.
sinigang or your nilaga to school.
No. And so, yeah, like there has definitely been like a reclamation of like a sense of pride around our culture, but specifically pre-colonial, like our ancestral ways of doing things, and realizing, okay, what is really ours and what has been things that have been adopted because of the colonizers that came and influenced us culturally, like the Spaniards, like the Americans, you know, which like shade but no shade, like there are things that we love, like we love basketball, we love hip-hop, we love empanadas, go off, but also what is ours before that, and can we have and build a sense of pride and honor around that. And I love that you are preserving that, but also like you are putting all of your influences from what you also culturally grew up with around here. And you know, that's part of being an artist. It's like it's the opportunity to create anew and like put your own twist or put your own self-expression, your own flavor to it.
Yeah, and I think for me, like the first kind of 2 years of being an artist, I was trying to find like my style. You know how like it is. You're like, what is your style? Even probably for dancers, you're like, what is my style? And like, how can I really like express myself in the most authentic way? And I was trying to look for like who am I trying to like conversate with when I'm creating these visual pieces. And it's really, you know, I thought it was like Filipinos in general, but I think it's diaspora, because we have this like unique experience where we are not really from here, but then we're really not from back home, and we're kind of othered in both places. And all we really have is each other. And so I feel like there's this almost cultural renaissance happening within the diaspora, where for some reason when me, Harvey, and Moe were in the Philippines, it ended up a lot of like other multidisciplinary artists were there at the same time. And I was like, what in the diaspora is happening? Like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that's a conversation that we can kind of continue to have. Like, there's these artists that are coming back to the motherland trying to find like their identity or trying to connect to something that's deeper and bigger than themselves and bringing it back here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are the third largest diasporic nation, actually. There's India and Mexico are the other two. And I fully relate to this experience. I think I've shared this before on the show in the past, but I have this very distinct memory of like going to the Philippines for the first time when I was 18 years old. And out here, I always said I was Filipino-Canadian. And then when I went back to the Philippines, my aunt who's from there had said, no, you're Canadian-Filipino. And I was like, wait, what? And it felt like slightly a rejection, you know, because I'm like, but this is where I'm from, but I also don't fully identify with everything here because I didn't grow up here, even though I was born here.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until, fast forward, I guess it would have been 10 years after that experience, in 2018, I went to Manila Fringe. And that was a gathering of the Filipinos from the diaspora from everywhere in the world to present their art, to share their art, and like to meet somebody who's like Filipino but grew up in Taiwan and grew up in Dubai, like culturally just so different, you know?
Yeah.
And yet like all the themes, and it was oh my god, RV Mendez, is that his name? RJ? It's definitely R something. But anyway, they performed a song that like spoke of home and spoke of exactly this thematically, like not from here, not from there, but like here is a sense of where we all belong. And that felt like a cathartic, healing moment of just feeling belonging for the first time. And like, this is a very unique and specific experience, and I'm glad that we could all relate in this moment right here and now.
Yeah, and it's not just like, oh, okay, we're relating on this. Like, we're all creating our own kind of like special art that speaks to this experience. And, you know, I'm excited to see what the next kind of like couple of years down the road will look like, especially for young Filipino artists or emerging artists. And I think it's important too that we're trying to take up our space in these communities, because then it'll be like inspiring for like little Kazi out there, little Mar out there.
Yes, the next generation of Filipinos growing up.
Yeah, like you don't have to be a nurse or a doctor, or you know, you can if you really want to. That's definitely like something,
and we need them.
Yes, for sure. But yeah, when you were mentioning like Filipinos are the largest diaspora or third largest, but they're also like the number one export of the Philippines is like people. And I think it's like the middle class just leaving. And then we have the opportunity to like kind of have this privilege to have this lens of our culture and the world at large. And so there's a lot. There's some weight to it. And I'm still trying to figure out like how we can connect with each other, because going there too, I had a lot of cultural exchange with Filipinos that were born there and you know don't have the opportunity to like live elsewhere, and that was probably one of my biggest takeaways, is just their experience living in the motherland versus our experience coming in and coming out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I understand what you mean by this weight.
Yeah.
And there's like a fine line here where, no offense to my Phil-Am, also my own relatives, you know? I'm not talking about my relatives. I'm going to talk specifically on Jokoy, actually.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Because he's a public figure and people have talked about this human before. But, you know, when he did his Netflix special, it really had this tone of like, if you come to America, this is your dreams can become fulfilled, and like just keep believing in yourself. And like he did a comedy special in the Philippines, and when he did this special, he had, you know, brought over American artists, a b-boy, a music producer, all of this, and then they also had local artists there. And I was surprised. They did this one part of the episode where they were making a song with one of the producer he brought over, and then they had like local rappers, singers, but he didn't say who they were. Like, it just really had this kind of like savior complex tone where it's almost perpetuating still like this American imperialist kind of idea, you know? And to me, that was a little bit disheartening because of having gone to Manila, connecting not just with the diasporic artists, but those who are from there, who live there, who've been holding it down, and are also about like decolonizing and connecting with our ancestral roots and doing that through their art. I was like, there are already incredible artists there.
Yes.
Like, we can't come in there with like an elitist attitude or thinking that we're better, like, you know. And sometimes that's even the thought and sentiment from my relatives who did grow up there. It's just like, oh, but you got to grow up there. And I'm like, yeah, honey, but you want to talk about racism?
Yeah. There's just like a whole slew of other challenges that we experience outside of there. But I share that sentiment with you, because I think when we went, we were also trying to be very like culturally sensitive to the work that they're doing there, and not coming in as like, oh, okay, now we're providing this platform for you to like speak about your art. It's like, nah, you've been doing the work. Like, we're the newcomers here. Like, let us learn from you.
Yes.
Yeah. And so it felt very, it was a life-changing trip. So that's one of the highlights that I definitely need to sit down and process for the next year, probably. And then obviously getting to work on the mural with Filipino BC, that is like a tribute to the Lapu-Lapu Day tragedy, is a highlight. It's kind of weird to say that's a highlight.
Yeah. Where is this mural?
It's just in the back alley. We can go and see it after.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah.
I was out of town during this time. I didn't realize that one was a tribute.
Yes, yeah. And like, I work really closely in that community. So like, my first mural is on 45th and Fraser, and then the following year I did one on 48th and Fraser, like the plaza, the grand mural. And then I did some like placemaking in that area, and I did the cement stamps for them too.
Yeah.
Like, I designed those. And then I also run this mural club at John Oliver Secondary Schools, where I started with the kids in grade 8, and they're in grade 12 now.
Wow.
And then just seeing like the progression of their art over the last 3 or 4 years has been incredible, and nothing that I can really like put into words, really. I'm just really proud of them. And then, you know, talking to some of them in the beginning of their journey, them being like, I think I'm going to be like a nurse, or like I'm going to apply to be like a teacher or something.
Yeah.
And then last year, some of them came up to me and was like, do you think I have a good enough portfolio to like apply to art school? And I'm like, yeah, you have so much public art, and I can speak to like your development also. So yeah, just working in the community has always been such a passion of mine, but those are some of the highlights of this year. There's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so fulfilling.
A lot has happened.
Yeah, that's so fulfilling.
Yeah.
Are you planning to go to the Philippines again next year?
So I have another trip booked end of October, because we are going to a wedding. And then my parents are going to be in the Philippines. They live in San Francisco.
Okay.
So they're living their American dream.
Yeah. I always wanted to be a Calipino. California Filipino.
Did you, like, do you have cousins there?
Always.
Yes.
I mean, always. Yes.
Yeah. Like
both coasts.
North Cal and South Cal?
Yes.
Yeah.
LA and San Francisco, Bay Area. Those are where I grew up going.
Yes, me too.
Family.
Did you go like on the big long drive down?
Always.
Oh my gosh. See, this is a quintessentially Filipino diaspora experience.
Yes.
So my parents would also every single summer either drive us down to San Francisco and then to LA.
Yep.
Or they would just ship us off. They're just like, you're going to be gone for 2 months this summer.
So fun.
I know. And then we got to just like hang out with our pinsans, our cousins, and So in like a certain like respect to like our experience, like I could say that, you know, there's some influence of like the Bay Area and like, you know how they say hella a lot. Like that has just really like come up the coast now.
For sure. And music, you know, last season we got to interview Basilda, who was like one of the first B-girls out here in Vancouver. And like, where did she get her music and a lot of her moves? From her Cali cousins.
Yeah.
Like,
they had good music, guys.
Yeah, and it definitely traveled up the coast because of our connections.
Yeah. I remember we would come back like in September and I have all these like new songs on my iPod, and I would show my friends. I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, that's a hard beat!"
Yes,
and it's like all these like, you know how like in Oakland they have this very specific like
the
kind of like a
movement,
like the rap, the way that their sound is. It's like, okay, this is like a Bay Area rapper kind of thing. So yeah, that was like a new sound that I was able to like bring to my friends over here. I was very proud of.
I love that.
Yeah.
What do your parents think now of what has happened for you and transpired for you in art?
They're super proud of me, actually. They're like my #1 fan. My mom is always in my DMs.
Tita.
Hi, Mommy. Love you. Yeah, she's always in my DMs, like liking every single story. She's like my #1 fan.
I love that.
Yeah, my dad too. So I think it's just this, like I had that conversation with them where you came here and you wanted to give me this opportunity to like have a better life. And so why wouldn't I push that to the limit? Like try to be the best that I can be in this thing. And so for that to come to fruition in such a short period of time that I'm able to like share with my parents too is like, I'm really blessed, I think.
I think so many of us who chose the artist path had this exact conversation.
Yeah.
Because I definitely had this conversation. I was like, you came here to give us better opportunities. And this is it. Like me being able to pursue a creative path. And, you know, I also agree. My parents, my mom are definitely my top audience here. Always watch all my episodes and make sure I'm on track and doing good. Saying the right things.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mom.
Yeah. And I try to FaceTime like my parents every couple days and just give them updates. So they know all the projects that I'm working on. Yeah. They're like, how's this going? How's this going? And even I will actually sometimes ask my dad for help because I'm building this sculpture with Harvey in Calgary.
Cool.
And I've never fabricated a 13-foot tall sculpture in my life. But, you know, my dad has some experience in fabricating, so he would just kind of weigh in on like what certain structures would work.
I love that.
Yeah, and then I recently started writing poetry like ever since I came back from the Philippines. And I would ask my dad like how to translate it in Tagalog. Because it's like, I can speak Tagalog for sure, but there's like the deeper words.
Yeah.
That are kind of going extinct. And that's like another thing too, right, in the Philippines is that I think Tagalog is like
Taglish.
It's becoming Taglish. And then, you know, there's a lot of people that I met that were like kind of low-key proud to not speak Tagalog. And I'm like, but you have a Philippine passport and you should, you know, take pride in that. But that's just like a different perspective that they have versus like ours, right? Because like when you come here, they're like, oh, can you speak Tagalog? Oh, well, then you're not Filipino. There's like some certain people that feel that way, and it's like, it's so hard to just be us.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. When I go there, I try to make the effort to learn what I can learn.
But then they'll speak to you in English, and they want to practice their English, and you're out there like trying to practice Tagalog. So I actually speak and practice my Tagalog better with my Filipino friends here than there, which is very interesting to me.
Every time I go there, I always get the compliment, like, oh, I just like hearing your English. I like hearing you speak, you know, but, you know, it's like language is just the way we communicate, you know. I don't hold any weight of like, this is more proper. That's the colonial mentality, right? Like, this is more proper or this is better.
Yeah.
It's just like, at the end of the day, if we can find a way to communicate with each other, then it doesn't matter to me really what we're speaking. You know, there's other ways you can communicate through dance, through movement, through visual art, through songs, whatever it may be. But
there's just like some shame. There's a lot of shame around in our community about Filipino identity, and that's something that I want to continue to challenge in my art practice. We hosted this show at Versus Creative Lab with my art collective Indios Bravos last September.
Oh my gosh, perfect.
And yeah, a lot of the conversations that we would have with some of the artists or the audience would be this kind of, am I Filipino enough? Like, you know, is my art is not like, you know, the sun and the stars or red and blue, or it might not have like Baybayin or something that's like quintessentially Filipino, but because you are a Filipino person making the art, that makes it Filipino art, and
yes.
that means that you deserve space and to this opportunity to showcase your artwork. And so that was an interesting kind of like conversation that we're still continuing to have in the diaspora, whether or not like our art is considered like cultural or Filipino or not. And I think that transcends even just our community. I think other, you know, first generation immigrants can experience that also.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, I totally relate to that. And I understand that. And I love that that's an open-ended dialogue question.
Yeah.
You know, like what makes Filipino art, you know? And if it's coming from somebody who's Filipino.
Yeah. Period. That's it. Like, we don't need to talk about this anymore. Just go and make the art.
Speaking of Indios Bravos, can you tell us a little bit about the meaning of this name and how did this collective form? And yeah, I'm so curious. I think it's such a cool collective.
Yeah. How did you hear about it? Is this through me or?
Yes, through you.
Okay,
and because of the event that Versus did.
Were you there?
No, but I saw it on the internet.
Yeah. Nice. Shout out to Versus. They've just always been so supportive in the arts.
Yes.
But our collective is kind of started by Harvey Nickel, really, who's based in Calgary. And I guess we were just trying to find, I think he went to this show and it was like Latin American artists, kind of a traveling show. And he was like, why don't we have that for like contemporary Filipino artists like out here? And I was having this conversation with him and he was like, we were kind of both like, if you want something done, you kind of have to do it ourselves. Like, I guess we're some of the artists that could do something like that. So then it was just like a matter of like getting a space and curating some of the artists that we know in our community. So that's when like Selena came in, because she had just graduated from Emily Carr with her sculptural. Selena, yeah. So she's also a dancer, very amazing. Hustle.
I've seen her at Hustle.
Yeah. But she's also super talented at creating some beautiful ceramic pieces. So we had invited her to be part of the show. Like May Facundo, we invited her to be part of the collective also, because I guess we kind of also have this collective to see if we can kind of form this group that is like, we didn't set out to create a community that was bigger than itself. We kind of just wanted to have it for each other, to support each other, to support our art. And everything is like better when you're working in a team, right? You find like you have a lot more people to lean on for help. And so Indios Bravos was formed from just a very organic like need for community. And we're called Indios Bravos because do you know about Jose Rizal? So Jose Rizal had his own Indios Bravos.
Yes. Well, tell the people.
Jose Rizal is one of the proponents of Philippine Revolution.
Yes.
So he wrote books such as Noli Me Tangere, El Filibusterismo, which kind of inspired the Filipino people to rebel against the Spanish
and become independent.
The Spanish colony and become independent. But he formed this group when he traveled to Barcelona or Spain and did some studies out there. So he kind of just found the same like ragtag group of like visual artists or, you know, revolutionaries that had this idea of maybe a free Philippines one day. They also like wrote in Baybayin and had their own kind of strengths. So
That's so sick.
Yeah. And I think because right now, like, this was not intentional, or maybe it was, there's this, like, almost like a renaissance happening in the diaspora. So we're kind of created this group that's, like, bigger than ourselves now, too. Yeah.
That's really inspiring.
Yeah. It's happened so fast that we're all kind of like, what do we do with this? Like, what do we do? And we've had so much success with the show too, because we did a show in Montreal last year, and then Vancouver, and then also in Calgary.
Yeah.
And the reception was just huge and positive for the most part. I don't really remember any negatives, but yeah, like we were like, what else do we do with this? But there's only 4 or 5 of us, and you know, there's also like things that we want to make, and so we're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But
no plans yet in the forthcoming future.
I think we want to do another show for sure,
Yes.
especially like after all of the inspiration from the trip that we had. But like my goal in the collective is to continue to provide a platform for emerging Filipino artists, and then, you know, if there's any that you know that would like to showcase their art, like, let me know. Connect them to me and see if there's opportunities to find more work for them or
Yay!
showcase. Yeah.
I love
I'm
this.
so proud of, like, you know, our community, and I just want everyone to see.
Yes. I'm so proud of our community from all different facets of what we're doing, from dance, from music, from
Exactly.
art. Like, I agree with you that we are in a time of renaissance, you know, and it's a beautiful thing to witness. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of.
Yeah. And you've been in the art game long time. It's like a marathon. It's not a sprint, for sure. And you've seen how it's changed over.
Yes.
Would you say now is like, it seems like it's a better opportunity. Like, people are receiving it more. They're valuing like the offerings that we have a lot more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think especially in after coming out of COVID and a lot of the movements of our communities that we also support and are part of, like after the whole Black Lives Matter event as well, like that happening, and a lot of call outs to different institutions and organizations to change their processes, to become more inclusive, to become more diverse. Like, I think that changed the game for sure. And it created a pathway where more of us, BIPOC people, can apply for grants or be prioritized, you know, and that there's more equitable processes, and there's also more of us in those seats making those decisions, adjudicating grants or adjudicating, you know. And I've gotten to also sit on those and take the information I learned and bring that back to the communities and be like, y'all apply for this, or this is what they're looking for, like just supporting and consulting and et cetera, et cetera. So I think all of these things happening in this time frame has created this shift. And also, you know, like you were mentioning earlier, it's a sad tragedy of what had happened at Lapu-Lapu. We were both there, and some of our direct friends have been affected by what had happened. But like that also put a spotlight on our community, and I really felt, oh, I'm getting emotional. I really felt the support and recognition from others, our allies, our friends in allied communities, really being like, yo, Filipinos hold it down in XYZ, you know, from us who work in healthcare, from us who contribute to society in ways that like people have often overlooked, you know, like raising a lot of rich people's babies and children and their families. Like that is, and why? It's like there's a characteristic, I don't know what it is in our DNA, but we're just very caring, nurturing, and just like have this caretaking way about us, you know? And so that spotlight being able to be put onto our culture, I think it is a moment for all of us.
Yeah.
And it sucks that it also came off of the backs of like people we've lost, you know, and also people who are there to enjoy and celebrate our culture as well.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I feel like you were like, in what ways can we continue to amplify? And it wasn't intentional, but Beats, Eats, and More has just had a lot of Filipinos. Like, we've had a lot of Filipinos, because that's who I know, that's who I care about. That's also part of my artistic, creative, and culinary community, you know?
Yeah, and I think, you know, there's a lot of us that really just like push the culture within Man City, and we've been doing this work forever, and now is like the time where there's a bit more eyes on us through this. But I'm so proud of everyone that's kind of just stepped up to the plate and created even more opportunities or just community events that, you know, help people heal. Because like it's still early days of what's happened, and there's still so much more to be done. There's still so much more to talk about, and especially within our community where mental health is something that isn't super talked about. Shining a light on that and providing like Mango Mental Health has been such a good support for the community. Just like a lot of my friends who have never seen a therapist before finally saw one like after Lapu-Lapu, and they're like, wow, this is actually like cool. I actually like talking to someone like outside of my circle or to weigh in on the decisions that I make in life. And I'm like, yes.
But also someone who can relate and understands my experience.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Jocelyn Cortez.
Hi, Jocelyn.
Hi, I'm watching you guys. You guys are doing great. I shared this video with my relatives in the Philippines.
Aww.
Tell them to watch it now. Subscribe as well. Proud of you both.
Hi, Tita Jocelyn. Hi, Mommy. So cute.
Number one fan right there.
One fan. I want to ask you some fun, rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Where are we at with time, brother?
8, 9 minutes.
Oh, wow. Perfect timing. So it's rapid fire, but, you know, you can expand a little.
Okay.
You know? So, song or artist that is on repeat right now while you're in the studio?
Ooh, you would know this. Okay, recently, Tinashe.
Ayo. Literally just on before we arrived.
Yes, just so talented. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with her. Yes.
Yeah, and we were just also talking about how you recently moved to the YouTube premium platform so that you could play the DJ sets, full DJ sets.
I can save them, I can download them, and also because, you know, I think there's a lot more remixes and different, like, sounds that can come from YouTube versus Spotify.
Yeah. It's nice to also hear a full mix where someone has curated the journey for you and you just don't have any breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
It's
a
like
fan.
an experience. Every time I'm in the studio, I'm like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I'm just out here dancing.
Which color feels most you and why?
You know what? I love a cadmium yellow, but
what?
like a bright kind of like golden yellow.
Yes.
Kind of like. Yeah, like you can see in the Carabao there.
Ooh.
But I got stung by a wasp this summer.
Okay.
And I'm like allergic.
Uh-oh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And now I'm
Until
like,
you
kind
got
of
stung.
scared of the color yellow.
Oh, because it attracts them.
Yeah. So lately I like purple because it's red and blue mixed together, and that's like our flag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, if you have flowers on you, those also attract wasps and bees.
Yeah.
Like real flowers and painted flowers that cannot tell the difference.
They can't. Yeah, when I paint murals, I usually use like really bright like pinks or purples.
Yeah.
And they're always like going up to the wall, like so confused. And I'm like, am I disrupting like the biodiversity here with this
real,
colorful
tricking
ass
them.
mural? Yeah.
Ultimate Filipino comfort food.
Ooh, it's gotta be sinigang.
Oh,
2 packs. 2 packs. Gotta be extra sour.
Oh my gosh. Oh, 2 packs of what package are you using?
Well, like whatever is available in TNT. So like Knorr or what's the other one?
I don't know. I've actually made it with tamarind and lemon.
Oh,
I've done it
you're
old
like
school.
legit.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to do that one time.
It's tricky. It's tricky. 'Cause
Yeah.
sometimes I overdo the lemon and I'm like, am I just making my gut really acidic? I don't know. Fave Filipino restaurant or vendor based here in Van City?
Like Of any food?
Yeah.
Or anything?
Yeah, and I mean, if there's more than one, we can shout them out.
Okay, well...
So I can build my list of where I need to go.
For desserts, I really like Hanap YVR.
Oh, yeah. Creative human.
Yeah, shout out to Cyril.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'll just do pop-ups here and there. So JJ Bakes, I just went there yesterday. Really good baked goods. Like I can't. I'm obsessed.
Like, what's one thing you tried from there?
Well,
that
okay,
was so
yesterday
good?
I had the vegan biggie cupcake because I'm allergic to dairy.
Right.
But the icing like tasted like it had dairy in it, but it was safe. So
Yeah.
I was like, how did you do this? This is so good. I really like Big Head Beading, so that's
Okay.
row.
Yeah.
They make like cool necklaces or like earrings or bracelets from like pearls that they thrift or just find otherwise, and they make it accessible to Filipinos or just make it like an accessible price for people. Helena, have you been? Mm-mm. So that's a new Filipino restaurant.
Okay, where is that?
I think it's Hastings and Nanaimo.
Okay.
Do you know the Brecca?
Yeah, the new
They're
Brecca.
just like right across the street.
Okay.
So I also did a mural for them, but the food is bomb. Gotta try it out.
What was your favorite dish you tried from there?
Ooh, the sisig was pretty fire.
Yum.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which artist or muralist has inspired you the most?
Oh, well, I'm gonna say Chris Perez because he's been out here doing the work, even when it wasn't like super popular. So actually, how I found Chris Perez was I went through the entire list of artists that have muraled for Vancouver Mural Festival in like, that was in 2022, so like from 2022 to whenever they started, a couple years before that. But I found every people that had like Filipinos last names, like Perez or I don't know.
Yeah.
I found Chris Abrigo on there too, and I just like messaged him, and nobody really messaged me back except for Chris.
Aww.
And he was like, "Welcome to this complicated path of being an artist." And ever since then, I've kind of just been like mentored by him a little bit. Yeah, like he taught me how to spray paint, gave me a lot of talks about imposter syndrome and how like he still feels it too. So I'm like, okay, if this tenured artist is feeling this way, then I think this is all something that we'll just struggle with forever.
Literally every human has felt this way, unless they're completely delulu and narcissist. Like every person has felt this way.
Yeah, it's like, am I good enough? Like, yeah. So
Aww, big shout outs to Chris. Honestly, I enjoyed the time that he got to live at our house at Hoy House.
Yeah.
He painted murals on the front and the back of it.
Yeah.
They're still there.
Yeah.
He really literally left his mark. And yeah, it was a good time having him.
yeah.
I love that. Fave project you've worked on to date? I mean, I guess you explained that already.
Yeah, I'm working on this mural with Filipino BC. It's probably like, I'm really proud of this mural, and yeah, I'm just like, I think it's my best work yet.
Okay, well, stay
Shout
tuned
out.
on our Instagram stories because we'll take a picture of it and then post it.
Yeah.
Dream artist collab, living or past?
Ooh, okay. I have been following the work of Pasida Abad for 2 years now. She's a Filipino, kind of American, I guess, diaspora artist, and she had a lot of like political artwork that would speak on like the experience of immigrants in America versus also criticizing the Marcos government back in the day, which is why she became like a political refugee and had to like move to the States. So that would be my dream collab because she really inspires me. She's also super community oriented. She did a lot of classes and traveling, and so those experiences informed her art, and that's kind of what I try to emulate.
Sick.
Yeah.
If you weren't making art, what would you be doing?
I'd probably be a teacher. Yeah. To some degree, I do that already.
I mean, yeah.
But only art teacher because the art kids are cool. Like, I have some friends that are thinking about becoming teachers now, and they're like, "What are the kids like?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I have cool art students,
Yeah.
but I feel like maybe I can't speak on the general population of high school students.
I think you would speak so well to them. Like, you know, they're influenced by people who really command presence and are cool, you know, and you have that.
Yeah.
So if you were even in the system with people who are like, I don't know about art, I feel like you'd convert them.
Yeah.
Fully.
Yeah.
What would you say to your younger self just starting out in art and not even aware this would become your path?
I would tell her to trust her instincts and to believe in herself, because I think early on the negative self-talk would really get to me and impact my confidence. But now it's really just like fake it till you make it, and then I figured out that nobody really knows what they're doing. So
that's it.
You know, we're all just like faking it till we make it. So
we're all figuring it out as we go.
Yeah.
Something that used to make you feel embarrassed about our culture, but you now feel proud of?
I think growing up, like, the food and the interesting smells.
Literally, it's the same thing on my
Right? Like,
yeah.
I remember bringing, like, tuyo, I think, one time to school. And
like soy sauce?
Like, tuyo is, like, the dried fish.
Oh, okay. No. Yeah.
And then when you heat it up, it's like, yeah, it smells like fish.
Yeah.
And so, you know, now I'm like, I smell it and I'm like, where is that coming from? It smells so good and I'm hungry now.
Someone's in the kitchen and it's full of love.
Yeah.
Something your parents always say that makes you feel at home?
I like when they just like call me anak. And then
Anak means my child.
Yeah, when they say that they're like proud of us or they miss us. Because like living away from your parents, it's another challenge too. Because sometimes I wish I could just like, when I have a hard day, I just want to go home and like have my mom cook food or, you know, just hang out with her on the couch and watch like telenovelas.
Oh my gosh, the soap operas, they're so dramatic.
Yeah, that's where I get the drama from too.
Literally, that's like for me, the thing that makes me feel at home is like when my mom says, Anak, did you eat yet?
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
It's always so loud. And it's like, Mom, I'm so full. It's just like, they're still like, they're opening Tupperware.
Yeah, and they're like, kain ka na. It's time to eat now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, before we wrap our live stream, I definitely want to quickly do some Baybayin script.
Okay.
And yeah, because you started doing workshops, right?
So I will maybe just write your name.
Okay, and
so
maybe you could explain to people also how our script works.
So our script is a syllabic language. So instead of like having, you know, in the Latin alphabet, you would spell my name as M-A-R-A, but then in Baybayin, you would just use the M-A right here, and then the R-A, which is somewhere down. It's not in alphabetical order because I was just writing it. But yeah, you would just use two symbols.
Yeah.
So I'll write Kazimi's name.
Ooh.
So it's Kazimi. But in Baybayin, he would write it as Ka, which is this. Z, which I'll use the kudlit. And then mi. So it's Kazimi.
Oh my gosh, hold it up, let them see. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
And there's a keyboard that you can get if you have an iPhone that has helped me a lot in like writing and learning to read it faster. So now, ever since like I've been doing these workshops, I've had my friends install the keyboard on their phone and I just text them in Baybayin.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you saying? And I'm like, I guess you have to learn now.
Yeah.
So they're all getting better at it because I will talk a little bit of crap.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, ha, you don't know what I'm saying. And then they'll figure it out like sooner than later. And they'll be like, I know what you're saying.
I need to add this on the iPhone.
Yes.
Yeah, I would love that. Because I was trying to figure out, I'm like, how is it that you're writing it on your, because you have it on your name on your profile on Instagram. And I was like, how did you find the symbols? Like, where?
Yes.
Which is so cool.
Yeah, I will send it to you. I should get like commission from this app because I always tell people to download it.
Yes, app.
Or I need to just make one because I think Android doesn't have like a good app. So
yes, I also am an Android user, so
yeah,
you know,
I'll find. I'm still looking for a good Android Baybayin app.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mar, so much for your time and your energy, your stories. I'm really, really excited about. Oh yeah, I totally forgot that I brought you food. Of course, we were just chatting. We didn't even eat, but you know, we could save more of this for after the show. But I definitely brought you some snacks. Yeah. Hey, excuse me, Diva. I'm sure also Tita Jocelyn would be like, what are they eating? Okay, Tita, you want to know what I brought your daughter for merienda? Hey, hey, hey.
Ooh.
Diva, sit.
Diva,
sit.
that's not for
Sige
you.
na, sit. Good girl. Well, I brought over from, do you know Palette has some really good pastries?
Yeah.
So homeboy over there really raved about this chocolate strawberry scone.
Yeah.
This is a ricotta tomato with a spinach or pesto pastry. And this is a London fog loaf.
Yum.
That is for humans only, not Diva, okay? You can have your chicken, your liver, little weird little snacks, freeze-dried beef things. Well, humans are going to have this.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm allergic to dairy, but Kazi was like, can you have like a little bit? And I was like,
Yeah.
I will microdose for you today.
I think the scone is good. I don't think, butter? Are you allergic to butter?
Yeah, but it's okay.
Darn.
I'm just like having a little bite of cheese and butter every day, trying to build my tolerance.
Can you do that if you're allergic?
I don't know, but it's like working. My goal is to like eat pizza. Like AJ's. Have you been to AJ's?
No.
Oh my gosh.
What
Have
is
you been
that?
to AJ's? It's on Broadway and
Yeah.
like I think like close to Dude Chilling Park.
Okay.
But
like the Brooklyn pizza place?
yes.
Oh,
It's so good.
yeah.
They have this like deep dish, but obviously it's like covered in cheese.
Yeah.
So it's my goal to eat that pizza.
You're
in
like,
particular.
vegan pizza, okay. Good efforts, but no.
I'm so sorry. It just doesn't taste the same. It just doesn't hit.
Did you used to be able to eat?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so this is a more recent development.
The last 3 years, I've just like not had a tolerance for it at all.
Okay.
But now I'm on different medications for my allergies, so I'm able to eat like a lot more things, and I'm just slowly introducing things back to my diet. And cheese
Okay.
is like the number one culprit.
The goal.
But oh man.
The goal for pizza. I'm rooting for you. On
Thank
this one,
you.
Mar.
Thank you. Everybody.
Yes.
Prayers, one like, one prayer.
Towards dairy.
Yes.
Well, I'm super grateful again for you on the show. We're going to definitely dive into this after this stream. Shout outs to everyone who's tuned in on the live stream, everyone who's watching the replay after. We really appreciate you. And also one more shout out to Tell the Story Hive for making this episode possible. Once again, this is Story Hive on location in Vancouver with beats, eats, and more.